the Black Dawn, and I'm back with another video. Today I'm actually going to be covering a interesting controller. As you can see, I do have a slight obsession with controllers, so I just had to pick this one up and kind of see what it was about. So basically it's a controller that is a mouse and keyboard with a joystick on a controller. So it has all the key bindings for like an actual keyboard. So as you can see, it has like, your Z, X, Alt. It actually has like a scroll wheel on there, and then your W, ASD is actually bound to the joystick there. It also has gyro built into it. I do love using gyro in like first-person shooters, so that's another reason why I picked it up, just to see how it was. And it's definitely interesting. I've tried it out a few times, and I do feel like it has kind of its place, but I don't think this one is quite up to par of where it needs to be just yet. And I kind of explain that here in a little bit, but yeah, so it has all of the kind of buttons that you would think you would have, but it is a little bit kind of set up a little bit differently. So you have your right click and your left click over here. You have your Q and E. I do wish that it had the other trigger on the back right here, like this one does. So it's a little bit weird to hit that button. It just takes getting used to, I guess. If you use it enough, you'll get used to it. And then it does have a function button where you hit the function, then you can hit any other key on the pad here, and it'll perform the the next action. So it does have a bunch of different inputs all on a controller, so you can kind of have the ability to have those key bindings that mouse and keyboard players would be able to have, but in like a controller controller form. And then it has the touchpad, which obviously doubles as like a mouse and a mouse pad that you can use. And like I said, it has the gyro capabilities in it as well. So yeah, so I kind of want to just jump into some gameplay. So I'm going to launch the finals, and we can see how this thing works. All right, so here we are in the finals here. I'll pick a gun just so we can see how how it aims, and how you can kind of control it throughout the game. And I may be a little rusty because I have not used this controller in a little bit, so you're gonna have to bear with me here. So I'm actually going to so yeah, so as you can see, it does have gyro, so you can use that. And then aim, so that the buttons are actually backwards on here, where normally you would ADS using the left trigger, but on here it's technically the right trigger, because that's your right click and that's your left click, as if you're using a mouse. But you can change any of the key bindings on here in the actual settings. So I go in here, and then you would actually change it under mouse and keyboard instead of controller, because this does input as a mouse and keyboard on your computer and not as a controller. So as you can see, I can actually use this wheel here, and you can actually use the wheel for in-game input as well. So next item is actually set to the wheel there, and then my gadgets are set to the numbers, which are associated with the D-pad over here. And then I have my aim down sights as the click, or right click rather, which is actually bound over here. And then the option is the left trigger here. So so that's why it's kind of backwards, but you can switch those if you wanted to. But yeah, so it is a little bit interesting, and it does take some getting used to, because on controller let's see, so I have that bound to V. Yeah, that's actually really hard to get used to know to use this, because I keep just hip firing because I'm thinking it's And then I have jump and slide actually bound to the buttons on the back of the controller, which can be pretty useful once you get used to it, to be able to not have to, you know, move your hands from the actual analog stick and the trackpad while you're playing. So it's definitely a different controller for sure. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this controller here, and if it's something that you would want to try out. And let me know if you want to see some, you know, actual gameplay use of this guy. I'll have to practice a little bit for sure, but let me know. Please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.